Introduction. April 18th, 1912. New York City. It was 9:30 at night. Nearly 40,000 people stood waiting anxiously in the pouring rain. There was fear in their eyes and a heavy silence in the air. They were about to receive news that would change their lives forever. The ship Carpathia was returning, carrying with it a story of pain, loss, and devastation. Titanic, the ship the world called unsinkable, had sunk beneath the depths of the Atlantic Ocean. The grand beginning. April 10th, 1912, Southampton, England. The Titanic was ready for her maiden voyage. More than 100,000 people crowded the docks to witness her magnificence. And why wouldn't they? Titanic was no ordinary ship. She was a floating palace. She was 269 meters long and 53 meters high, taller than an 8-story building. Inside, her luxury was unmatched. A grand staircase, heated swimming pool, gymnasium, libraries, Turkish bath, and even a barber shop. Titanic was truly a moving luxury hotel. The unsinkable ship. What made Titanic even more extraordinary was her safety. She was the largest and strongest ship of her time. With her double-bottomed steel hull, she was believed to be unsinkable. People had faith. Nothing could bring Titanic down. The 16-compartment Titanic's lower section was divided into 16 watertight compartments. Even if 4 of them were completely flooded, the ship would still stay afloat. It seemed impossible that nature could overpower such strength. That is why people believed Titanic could never sink. Construction and launch. The Titanic was built by the White Star Line. Her construction began on March 31st, 1909, in the Belfast shipyards. After nearly 3 years of hard work, she was launched on May 31st, 1911, and on April 10th, 1912, Titanic set sail on her first voyage. On board were over 2,200 passengers and crew, the wealthy in first class, the middle class in second, and the poor in third. The joyful journey. Titanic departed Southampton with great pride. Along the way, she stopped in France and Ireland to pick up more passengers. For the first 4 days, the journey was smooth and joyful. The sea was calm, the skies were clear, and passengers enjoyed every luxury the ship had to offer. Everyone believed this voyage would be unforgettable. The warning ignored. But the night of April 14th, 1912, everything changed. The weather was icy cold, yet the sea was eerily calm. Throughout the day, Titanic had received multiple iceberg warnings. Still, she sailed forward at full speed. At 11:40 p.m., a massive iceberg appeared in her path. The captain gave the order to turn, but it was too late. The iceberg struck Titanic's starboard side, tearing open her hull below the surface. The freezing Atlantic water began rushing in. Chaos on board. The moment passengers learned Titanic was sinking, chaos broke out. There were over 2,200 people on board, but only 20 lifeboats. The rule was women and children first. Many men had to sacrifice their lives, and in the rush, several lifeboats were lowered half empty. The cries of fear and despair echoed through the night. The final moments. Water flooded the ship rapidly. Titanic began to tilt higher and higher into the sky. At 2:20 a.m. on April 15th, 1912, the Titanic slipped beneath the ocean, never to return. More than 1,500 lives were lost that night. Only about 700 people survived, drifting in lifeboats in the freezing Atlantic. 4 hours later, the ship Carpathia arrived and rescued the survivors. The lesson of Titanic. The sinking of Titanic became one of the greatest maritime tragedies in history. It proved one simple truth: no matter how advanced technology becomes, human power can never surpass the power of nature. Titanic was called unsinkable, yet one iceberg buried her forever in the ocean's depths. Even today, Titanic's story lives on in our hearts. It was more than just a ship. It was a lesson that arrogance and negligence always lead to disaster.